Down in the Den, so go tell a friend. The best podcast on earth's about to begin. We got jokes and news and movie reviews. After Dark NC-17 with the crew. Interviews with the best artists around. So like, comment, subscribe. The show's starting right now. Let's go. Like, comment, subscribe. The show's starting right now. Welcome to Down in the Den. It's your boy Marz, and today I am honored to have one of the most talented artists in the game right now. An artist who has had the most impactful 2021 and no doubt will be taking over 2022. This artist doesn't buy stocks because he is the stock. The OGs in the Bay Area have to be so proud of this young king. Welcome here in the Den, none other than my guy, LaRussell. Brother, welcome to the Den. How are you doing today?
Incredible introduction. I appreciate it. I'm doing great. Honored to be here.
Salute. Well, we are excited. I've been working on this for a while, and I'm so happy and thankful that you carved out some of your time. I know you're a busy man, so if you're ready, let's get it.
Of course, I'm always ready.
Yes, sir. So a big thing, I am a artist, but I love comic books. That was my first exposure to art, was comic books, looking at some of this art. And one thing that's always consistent, every villain, every hero, every anti-hero has an origin story, something that transformed them and put them into the position that they are. So it's a tradition here in the Den. Our first question is always the same. What is your origin story? How did you become the young poet and king that you are?
Man, everyone asks me this question, and it's I don't know, it's so unclear. You know, I feel like I'm the everyday guy. You feel me? Like I don't feel like the superhero. Like I'm the regular kid who grew up listening to music all the time, and I started writing raps. You know, me and my sister used to have a boombox, and we used to download instrumentals and burn them to a CD and just like play them and rap over them. Yeah, I don't have no crazy shit like a spider bit me and then I started having visions and shit.
I don't know, bro. The flow sounds like you might have came from Krypton. So I don't know. Now your talent is obvious. That's something that's crystal clear, whether you're a hip hop fan or just a music fan. And besides the quality output that you've been putting out, the biggest thing that I've noticed, I'm a big Kobe fan, is the work ethic. Who do you credit with installing that work ethic? Because, brother, you grind like no artist I've seen in a long time, since like DMX was dropping 2 albums in 1 year. You're dropping multiple albums in 1 year. Who do you credit with installing that work ethic?
Man, myself and my pops. You know, I've always witnessed my pops just work relentlessly through everything he's done. Constant work. You feel me? And I feel like that's some shit you just kind of pick up subconsciously. And I just have like a unrelenting passion for music. You know, it's not even work to me. I just love to make music. I love to create. So I'm able to do hundreds and thousands, you know, without even noticing or keeping track because my heart is just there.
Grind by osmosis. And you're absolutely right. You know, it's one thing that Kobe said when he got to the league. He realized that people didn't love it like he did. So they were looking at it as work. And he was like, I wouldn't rather be anywhere else in the world right now.
Man, you couldn't beat him. Kobe was working out 4 times a day. And you know, that's how I make music. When I lock in and make music, I'm making 5 to 10 songs a session. Like it's impossible for anyone to outwork me, you know, because I'm going to do it way more, you know, and I apply that principle to everything I do. You know, if I want to play tennis, I'm gonna go hit 10,000 balls. You know, that's the only way that you get to that level of skill.
Absolutely. I've never seen one put in that 10,000 hour mark and not improve considerably. So you're absolutely right. It's all about the grind.
Not
impossible.
One.
Yeah, no matter what you're doing, it could be ice skating.
It is impossible. And that's the thing, that shit works for the good and the bad. You know, if you have a negative habit that you do 10,000 times, you're gonna be really good at that negative shit too, you know. So that applies to any section in life that you do, you know. That 10,000, you're gonna see the result no matter what.
Message. We need to put that Keenan Ivory one message. I want that in
Message.
post. Message. That is absolutely fire in truth. Either way, if you put it to the left or you put it to the right, you're going to become better at whatever you're
Yeah,
doing.
man, you're gonna get the benefits of what you cultivate. The garden's gonna grow.
It's going to grow. Whatever you do now, the seeds you plant, that's up to you, but it's going to grow for sure.
Exactly.
Now, 2021, hell of a year two of a global pandemic. I don't think anybody in my lifetime has seen anything like this. But we saw you in the second year of a global pandemic, not release one, not release two, not release three, but four albums. And hell, we still have some time left. There may be something else.
It ain't over.
There may be something. You definitely just stepped on the neck of the industry. Now, you mentioned your love for it. Was that your intent going into the year? I'm going to flood this market so just the world sees so much that I have to offer.
Man, going into the year, not necessarily. If so, I would have been at 10. You know, I didn't start releasing albums until the summer this year.
Right.
And you know, my first album this year came out in August. So this has been in 4 months. You know, if it was my intent in the beginning, I would be 10 in. But yeah, no, I just I don't know, something clicked kind of mid-year, and it was just like, man, after meeting with all the labels and having all these meetings and deals, it's like, this isn't what I thought it was or what I wanted. I'm gonna just do this shit completely myself. And if you're going to take on that type of leap, you have to put that product out. Like if you don't have this big engine behind you that's going to push you and make sure everyone sees your shit, then you got to constantly put out great product.
That is fact. And we preach independence here. That's what this platform is about. It's about independence networking and using our talents to uplift us. And you and your team, I feel like we're kindred spirits from a different universe. Like we might be the alternate universe Peter Parker to you guys because our principles are the same. And speaking of team, let's talk about your team, man. You guys are working, and you guys are not only working for yourself, you're putting so many others on. Tell us a little bit about the Good Company team because you guys are killing it right now.
Man, it's a bunch of incredibly driven artists who didn't have resource or didn't have help, who all wants to be that resource and be that help. You know, every single one of us were artists before we decided to embark on this journey. Some of us are just teammates who supported my career heavily and love art, just love music. We all have that passion for art and music and wanting to see and do dope shit. And it was only right. It was only right. You know, we were already working very hard on pushing ourselves. So when we finally got to the point where it was like, wow, we could do this for everyone and open a bit of a door, it was a no-brainer for us.
I love it. I see you guys linking, and it reminds me of Voltron in the 80s. I said, okay, these guys are ready to go. You're rearing, so I love it. Now,
right, man, we are the label. We had to become it.
hey, I love it, man. It's like Rockefeller all over again. So I love it. I love it. I consider myself a bit of a hip hop historian, and for me, my love of music, all music, is directly attributed to my father. When he came back from Vietnam, he brought all these bootleg records and all these records back, and he used to quiz me on them. Who is this? I'm like, it's Queen. It's Average White Band. It's this. It's this. But my love of hip hop, that's 100% my big brother. My brother was 10 years older than me. So when I was like 7, he was 17. So I really shouldn't be listening to the things that he was playing. But fortunately, fortunately, I observed it. I remember being 7 and going for Halloween as Eazy-E, and people were like, what are you doing? Everybody else was a Power Ranger or something. And I was like, nah, bro, I'm Eazy-E. And the first song, my earliest memory of hip hop, the first song I remember listening to is Life is Too Short by Too Short. That was my very first hip hop song, followed by Public Enemy. And I understand that you've had a little meeting with the Bay Area icon. How was that meeting? Because I know coming from where you from, Too Short is like an icon. How was that meeting him and having him stamp your movement?
Man, incredible. My mom is the biggest Too Short fan in the world. that was probably one of my first rap songs ever hearing as well. Definitely had to be a Too Short song, like, you know, from the car seat to an adult. So it was a very, very surreal moment. And I mean, he came to my house, you know, so even that makes that shit 10 times grander. Those are things as a
Facts.
kid you never imagine. You never imagine Too Short walking in your house or anyone of, you know, these statures. So definitely it was a huge moment, and just to be able to share that with my mom was incredible.
That is a gift. That is a gift for my mom. Her guy was Prince. So that to me, that's like if Prince was sipping Capri Suns on my couch, I would kind of feel
Exactly.
like, I've done it. I've done it. I did this for my mom. I'm kind of good.
Right, you
Now,
won.
facts, facts. Now, I mentioned earlier your line, I don't buy stocks, I am the stock. But let's talk about the LaRussell stock program because I have a history in the business side of music. And this was one of the most innovative things I've ever seen in the music industry. And I tell people, I promoted on my page, I'm like, get it. Imagine if you had a percentage of Thriller in 1983. You
Come
know,
on.
imagine if you had a percentage of Queen,
Come
We Will
on.
Rock You. Imagine if you had that and how that could help you and your family have wealth. That's one thing that we preach. So tell us a little bit about how that project came to give your fans an opportunity to not only support, but profit from some of the art that you make. And how did that come about? Because I think that is simply genius.
Man, I'm just always thinking of what I would love as a consumer and as a supporter and as a fan of the artist that I really rock with. And I remember listening to there's an artist named Tim's, and she just blew up this year. And I got
Love
put
her.
on to her. I got put on to her about last year before there was like the big craze. And I just remember thinking, like, man, like, you know, if I could if I could have got a piece of this would have been great, you know. And yeah, we had tested the theory out when I did Cook Together, Eat Together. I gave away equity just to see if people understood what that was. And then after that, it was just like I was going to shoot a music video that had a pretty big budget, so I was going to like allow people to kind of invest in that in exchange of getting a percent. But then I was just like, something hidden. It was like, bro, just do the whole catalog. Fuck it, you never know, you know. So literally the day I announced it, I thought of it the night before, you know, and announced it, and the very next day it went crazy. And the year ain't over. We got more innovation coming. You know, I feel like I'm operating in a frequency right now that I'm just constantly thinking about as a consumer, what do I want from my favorite artists and what would be the best way for me to support? So we got some really incredibly innovative things going. And like you say, with this one, this is the first of its kind, and it hasn't even been received at the level that it will be, you know. Like this is really that. If you invested in Jay-Z in the 90s and now he's Sean Carter, just think about what you've done for your family. That's a Picasso.
That's a Picasso. I don't even think of it. I get Scrooge McDuck vision swimming in money when I think about some of those opportunities that you're providing for people. Oh man, yeah, big facts, big facts. 20 years from now, there's going to be a lot of people, including myself.
Thousands of people that we're going to be able to bring, you know, passive income and in a form of wealth. Like this is
Yeah,
into perpetuity. Like your grandkids will be able to collect revenue from this. And that's what people don't understand. Like when we buy these records by these label companies, we're funding their children to go to college. And that's what I'm doing now. But I'm allowing the people who support me now and today to be in on that. Like this is forever. This percent doesn't end, you know, this shit is forever.
that's beautiful because I am so tired of seeing our creators that bring us, because music, universal language, it brings us whatever emotion we need. And I'm
Mhm.
so tired of seeing our kings and queens who create this beautiful art, and Billy Zane is profiting off it, and his kids are going to the private school, and
Right.
then we hear
Bro,
about
their
them.
their their kids grow up and their kids end up owning the label that signs our kids. Like
Exactly.
that shit is it doesn't make sense. You know
It makes
that
sense. It doesn't make any sense because these guys couldn't rhyme, Apple with Snapple, and
gotta
but
think like, bro. Elliot, man, bruh. Coi Leray is Benzino's daughter, and she signed by, someone else's son who was in the business at the same time. That shit just doesn't add up.
It doesn't make sense. Like Dame Dash said, my son has cookies, man. Let these kids eat off of the art they make. Now, about 3 months ago, you dropped an incredible freestyle on the Breakfast Club, which obviously, is a hip hop staple for the last 10 plus years. How did it feel being on that big national showcase, just killing it, ripping it, and showing your abilities and getting that cosign from obviously, Charlemagne is known to make people cry, but he loved you. He loved you just like we love you. How did it feel getting that stamp and that cosign?
Man, incredible. Another one of those, big glory moments just for myself and for Vallejo and for the Bay Area. I was that was cultural history. I was the first artist to go on there and rap, and let alone from the Bay, like a cultural imprint that will live forever. As I grow bigger, that's one of those moments that is like a classic cultural hip hop moment. If anybody else goes up there and raps, they know why. We started that. And that's also something that people are able to buy equity in. Like, you're able to, that's a fucking rookie card, like this is Picasso. So man, it was just like a big moment. And like I said, I knew what I was building before I did that. So for me, it was like, oh, this is another stamp. This is another thing that we get to be able to monetize. Like Charlemagne, Envy, all the staff and crew that work there, they all own a percentage of that. So as that streams and as this grows, they collect revenue from that.
I love it, man, and I love it. The vibe is unmatched. It's an unmatched vibe. Now, one thing I've noticed in your music, because I've listened to the whole catalog, I've listened and talked about the catalog with my dad and listened to all the music, and we picked our favorite songs and things of that nature. But one thing that's consistent is that you show vulnerability, which in hip hop, you're not afraid to smile. You're not afraid to talk about things where you're wrong. You're not afraid to talk about love, which in hip hop, it's still, even though it's 2021 going on 2022, it's still rare to see that vulnerability.
Man, very.
What allows you to be so emotionally honest without fear?
um it's just in me. I can't be any other way. I feel what I feel, and I'm very vocal about what I feel, and music is like my safe space. I never make a song with the intention to release it. I make the song with the intention to release me. So
Mm.
after that is done, and it's like, well, I got to share. I don't want to sit on it. That's just what comes from it. But yeah, I mean, I don't make it with the intention of sharing it with the world per se. So I'm able to be very honest and open with myself, because I have to listen and live with this music, in the end of it, and make sure it's a clear representation. And just like you said, that's what we lack in music. I've spent a day listening to a Spotify playlist one time, and I felt like killing myself. Like, it was just like, bro, what the fuck is going on? And like, nothing, there was nothing of substance, nothing with meaning. The playlist had probably 50 some songs, and two were not great, but decent, and there was just nothing there. It was lacking, and it almost made me sad, because I'm like, damn, this is what the kids are consuming. You don't understand, like, consumption is more than what you eat. Like, what you hear, that is so, and it all you hear is that a gang, big car, big wood. Like, bro, this shit not real. That shit is unreal. Like, it's just not real. And there at some point, someone has to be that change and make that difference. And like, with me, it's kind of risky, because you don't get as much exposure sometimes, or as much cloud, or as much radio play, because but I don't give a fuck. It's just like, we can't keep pushing this agenda. But then again, it's like, I love to believe that the people making that music aren't doing it with the agenda or narrative to keep pushing that type of shit, and that they're just living their honest lives, or the life that's true to them and what they know. And if that's what it is, I accept that, and that's okay. But me, it's like, I know what comes with this. You know, I go pick my daughter up from school and I see these kids and I talk to them and I know what it means to see someone who feels like them and looks like them and dresses like them and talks like them. I can't relate to that other shit. I don't know anyone with a Ferrari and that got these chains and who got they. I don't know them fucking people, and I don't want to. You know, so I don't know. With me, it's just it has to be this way for us to have change. You know, I was just talking to someone recently. I'm working on a project and they sent me a contract for it and I was like, I'm not doing it if I got to sign that contract, you know. And they were like, but if the contract says everything that you want in it, what's wrong with it? And I was like, it's the same system that I'm trying to break. And if I sign this and say, okay, fuck it, I'll just do it this time, I'm just continuing that process. You know, we can't, I don't care if it says everything to the exact dot. It's not, I'm not going into that system anymore. So unless we gonna break it and change it, you know, I just can't participate. And I got songs where it's just reckless and talking whatever, and those are pockets and moments. But it's like you have to have some type of. I got to get to know you.
Right. Right. And it can't be all. I tell people I love a good candy bar every now and then, but you can't just eat Snickers every day. You
You
can't.
can't.
You can't. You'll have
Right.
zero teeth, and you'll be
Right.
600 pounds, and somebody will be cutting your foot off.
Well, and that's the thing. You can, but you have to accept what comes with that. There's a not a consequence because it's not a negative, but there's things that come with eating candy every day, and that's the thing is kids don't understand that. So for them, it's kind of fucked up that you would keep putting this candy in front of them because you know what they're going to do with it. But you know, it, it all comes down to moral compass, which a lot of people don't have, and a lot of these artists don't have because I mean they come from the hood. Like they're finally getting money and getting access and opportunity and finally getting awareness. You know, it's people who's never had a woman in their life coming on to them, and now they got plenty. Like you don't know how to handle all that, so we can't even expect, you know, I like I said, I just kind of accept it for what it is and try to be that change.
Yeah, and it's up to the gatekeepers. It's up to the media as well. It's responsibility all around. And I always tell people there's a time and place for ratchet. Trust me, I'm old
Hmm.
school. I'm 40, so I got you by probably 20 plus years. And it's nothing today. If I hear "Nuck if you buck," I'm going off. I'm
Right,
elbowing somebody in the head immediately. But I also
right,
need song cry. You know what I mean? I
exactly.
also need that balance, and that's the
Balance,
key. That's the key.
balance, not completely, and that's where you know the industry have become imbalanced. Like they've made it like, of course, there's balance in the music and people making it, but they've made it they don't display the balance. You know, they've made
Right.
it very easy for you to find the candy and made it very difficult for you to find the produce. You know, like that shit doesn't add up.
Yes. Yeah, your music is like a fresh mango, man. It just re-energizes you. It nourishes you, gives you your
Beautiful.
nutrients. It's like a audio Dr. Sebi. That's what it is, man. It cleanses it. So, man,
Yeah.
it's been a blast, brother. It has been a blast for you carving out so much time and just being so open and honest. But you can't be on the Den without getting your official Den mate stamp. And to do that, we play a game. And your game is very simple. It's top five, dead or alive. So what we need from you to get that official Den mate stamp, give us your top five. And it doesn't have to be just hip hop. It could be music, whatever. Because, like I said, you're an artist. You kind of you're higher than hip hop. You're just an artist. So, top five, dead or alive, any genre.
But we're talking about musicians or just people or what? What are
We're
we?
talking just music. Who musically just fulfills you? Top five music, and it can be like I said, any genre. And if you want to throw artists in there, if you want to throw in a painter, if it's a Basquiat that inspired you, F it, go for it. Your top five just inspirations. We're gonna uplift it. Your top five inspirations.
um Tupac for certain, Hove for certain. Trying to think of the ones that really speak. to my soul. J. Cole, DMX, um, man, there's so many that have filled me and inspired me in a way, but I gotta give it to Drake because Drake is the reason I'm able to be hyper emotional in my songs and feel like it's okay.
Hey, that's his lane. Yeah, I can't argue with that. I remember the first time I heard Drake, this was probably '09, and my fiance at the time, who just had a thing for light skinned dudes, um, she was just like, "Oh, listen to this," and I'm like, "Who is this emotional guy?" And 3 years later, I'm crying to Marvin Room, and I'm like, "This guy's really open a
Drake
lane."
has those one do not disturb. He has so many of those Western road flows, so many of those where it's like, wow, wow, you really care, or you're really bothered or hurt, or you really feel a certain way, and you're actually telling us. We didn't get that. When we did get it, we got it in a hard. Like Tupac gave us emotion, but in a very hard way. DMX gave us emotion, but a lot of emotion, but just in a more rugged way.
Right.
Drake was the first to be like, hey, that bothered me when you did that. I didn't enjoy that. This is how I feel about a bit. It's a bit different approach, and it opened the door for artists like me to make songs like Closer To and just a lot of my music, and it'd be all right.
We have to give that man his flowers for that, and just
I gotta put Kanye in there too. Oh, God,
gotta
yeah,
put, yeah,
if I was to, I have to put Kanye in there.
you
It's
gotta put,
impossible.
yeah. You got to put, yeah. I always said that guy made music for people like me. That I haven't sold a drug in my life, but I folded a lot of clothes during retail and sold a
Man,
lot of video games working at gaming stores. So he,
man, Kanye is so inspirational that every single artist that has come out in the past 10 years, 15 years are products of Kanye.
oh yeah,
And like people don't every single everyone who's a top artist, right? They're products of Kanye. There's no other artist who has had that effect. Niggas aren't products of Jay-Z. They're products of Kanye West
oh
and
facts.
Lil Wayne, but
Wayne,
a whole lot of
Drake, and
Kanye.
Kanye are
But Drake is a product of
of
Kanye
Wayne. Yeah, and Kanye.
and Wayne, right?
Yeah, he's
So
literally
it's
their
them
child.
two. Man, bro, it's crazy, crazy, monumental stamps within the culture.
Well, brother, you are going to be right there. You're well on your way. Hopefully, this interview, when you're getting your 23rd Grammy 10 years into the game, they're going to be playing this interview and be like, "Yeah, he called his shot. He Babe Ruth this bitch. He called his shot." And I could
Incredible.
definitely see that happen. So, brother, it's been a pleasure, man. I could go on all day. I want you to tell all the den mates worldwide what you have going on, whatever you can share, because I know you have some secrets that you can't. But whatever you can share, give them your social media. Your stuff is streaming everywhere. The floor is yours.
Man, you could find me at LaRussell, LARUSSELL on everything. And the year ain't over, and I would just say stick around. This is an incredible movie. The highs and the lows. This is the best roller coaster you'll ever ride. And man, I just hope you guys come along for the journey. Get some stock, get some shares. We're going to build this together. I got some incredible perks coming for supporters, and yeah, man, incredible. I'm so grateful you had me. I'm going to send you my line, and let's circle back in a year and see where we're at.
Yeah, man, we're going to be at the top for certain. Please buy this stock, guys. I've never steered you wrong. You know, I am. They call me the plug for a reason because I know what's hot. And
Back.
this guy is going to be. When I said earlier, imagine having "We Will Rock You." Imagine having Thriller. Imagine having the theme song to Star Wars.
Talk to
Imagine
me.
that. This is the music that he's making. He's given an opportunity for you to feed your kids, 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 kids. And this is what we need as a community. And when I mean as a community, I mean the have nots. That's what we're all about. So, brother, I wish you nothing but the best. We're going to send you some DITD merch as well. Thank you so much for linking. The Den mates support you 1000%, and we'll always be plugging and promoting your stuff as long as you keep making that fire, which I know you have no choice because it's in your soul.
Incredible, man. I appreciate you. I'm super grateful.
Absolutely. Well, brother, we're going to tune in for 2022, and I know you have some more surprises. We got it's not the end of the year yet. We still got
The
some
year
time.
ain't over.
The year ain't over. So shout out to LaRussell. Shout out to the Good Company gang. They are killing it. Salute, salute, brother. And nothing but the utmost success. And I mean that with the most sincerity I have.
Love, man. Tell Pops I said what's up.
Man, he's so excited. He's been like, yo, man, let me know. Dad, I'm sorry you told me stop doing that impression of you. But that's how you sound. You sound like
Right. He got the
Hillbilly
Louis
Bear.
Armstrong going
Oh, yeah.
on.
What a wonderful world. That's exactly how he sounds. Facts, facts. But brother, man, thank you. Keep smiling, keep grinding, keep shining, keep putting your foot on the neck of these industry clowns who don't know what you're coming with. I know what you're coming with, so keep crushing it. I love it. Nothing but peaceful violence. I love it.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Indeed. Well, it's your boy Marz as always. Please check out. We're going to put the links everywhere. We're going to put in the bio, put his music, just tag him and tell him it's fire. Tell him Marz sent you. And as always, as we end every episode, peace, love, unity, respect. Deuces.
Beautiful.